AI and big data. You hear these buzzwords literally everywhere right now, right? But today, we're cutting through all that noise. In this explainer, we're going to see exactly why these aren't just trendy tech terms, but the absolute foundation of modern business survival. We'll demystify how massive reserves of data act as fuel for a totally new kind of intelligence, and why this specific combo demands a massive structural shift in how your business operates if you want to stay in the game. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the digital transformation timeline, look at AI as a general-purpose technology, define the big data boom, break down the 4 Vs, and wrap up with the business transformation imperative.
Part 1. The Digital Transformation Timeline.
So it's absolutely crucial to understand right off the bat that AI isn't just some isolated event that popped out of nowhere. It's the latest chapter in a really long evolution. Look at the rhythm of history here. Late 90s, the internet wave hit. Mid-2000s brought cloud computing. And then boom, the mobile explosion in the late 2000s. And now we're staring down the AI wave. And, history really punishes those who can't keep the beat. Think about giants like Blockbuster or Kodak. They were on top of the world, but they failed to adapt to those earlier digital waves, and, well, they got completely wiped out. That harsh reality sets a pretty terrifyingly urgent stage for AI. It's adapt or become obsolete. Before we go any further, let's anchor ourselves with a really clear definition. At its core, artificial intelligence is all about making computers capable of tasks that typically require human intelligence. We're talking about stuff like understanding language, reasoning through tricky problems, navigating the physical world, and learning. It's basically a massive, ongoing project to replicate human cognitive functions inside a machine. But here's the crucial distinction. You have the broad umbrella of AI, but the specific engine driving this modern wave, that's machine learning. It's a field of AI, but the real game changer is that phrase right there, without explicit programming. For decades, computers were honestly just really fast calculators. They only did exactly what a human typed into their code. Machine learning completely breaks that chain. It gives the computer the ability to learn from data completely independently. And this autonomous engine is exactly what's working relentlessly behind the scenes right now to power this whole revolution.
Which brings us to Part 2. AI as a general-purpose technology.
How do economists actually classify this new machine? Well, Brezinan and Trachtenberg nailed it. They define general-purpose technologies, or GPTs, as having widespread potential use across economic sectors, high technological dynamics, and the function to stimulate innovation and economic growth. Think about the discovery of electricity or the invention of the steam engine. Those weren't just standard upgrades. They completely rewired how humans lived and worked. That's exactly what AI is. It's not just an IT upgrade. It's a massive paradigm shift on a macroeconomic scale.
And there are 3 clear indicators proving why machine learning perfectly fits this world-changing GPT criteria. First, its use is already widespread across almost every industry you can think of. Second, there's a massive volume of research and development jobs specifically related to it. And third, and this is the kicker, those research jobs aren't just locked away in Silicon Valley. You're seeing AI jobs in agriculture, healthcare, global logistics, and manufacturing. It's literally infiltrating every single corner of the global economy.
All right, Part 3, defining the big data boom. So if machine learning is the engine, big data is the fuel. And obviously, a powerful engine is completely useless without gas in the tank, right? Now, data has always been the backbone of business, but big data is a totally new frontier. Looking at the official NIST definition, big data isn't just more data. It's data whose capacity literally breaks traditional systems. We're talking massive volume, wildly complex structures, and rapid creation speeds. Conventional methods just crash if they try to handle it. You absolutely have to use advanced analysis tools just to make sense of the noise. You might be wondering, why the sudden explosion of big data right now? Well, it's a perfect storm. On one side, you've got computing capacity. Hardware storage has skyrocketed while costs have plummeted to historic lows. It's just cheaper than ever to hoard information. On the flip side, you have data generation. We live in a world of constantly connected devices that literally never log off, creating a 24/7 digital footprint. So you smash these two forces together, cheap endless storage and nonstop data creation, and boom, that's what ignited the big data era. Just to put this nonstop data generation into perspective, humanity creates roughly 328 million terabytes of data every single day. I mean, that is mind-boggling. Where's it all coming from? It's your smartwatch tracking your heart rate. It's every social media post, like, and comment happening globally every millisecond. It's our phones tracking our location and weblogs recording every single search we make. This digital ecosystem is a factory that never sleeps, constantly pumping out the raw fuel that businesses need for their AI engines.
Let's move to part 4, the 4 V's of big data. For a business leader, swallowing a concept this massive can be super daunting, so let's break down this digital fuel using the 4V framework. First, there's volume. We aren't talking gigabytes anymore. We're dealing with terabytes and petabytes of information. Second is variety. Modern data is messy. You've got some neat spreadsheets, sure, but mostly it's unstructured text, audio files, and multimedia. Third is velocity. Systems have to process continuous streams of data instantly, demanding millisecond responses. And finally, veracity. This is the uncertainty of the data, and honestly, it's the most critical for business outcomes. Because if your fast, massive, varied data is full of errors or fraud, your shiny new AI is just going to confidently make terrible business decisions.
And that brings us to our final section, part 5, the business transformation imperative. Okay, so we've got the engine and we've got the fuel. Now, what does your business actually need to do today to survive this? Well, this right here is the absolute most essential concept for any decision maker to grasp. The true transformational impact of AI and machine learning does not happen overnight. It arrives with what economists call a structural time lag. It's kind of like planting an orchard. You can't just throw seeds in the dirt and expect to harvest apples the next day, right? The roots have to take hold. Business leaders have to be incredibly patient because the real financial benefits of these general-purpose technologies need an incubation period before they start bearing fruit. So, to successfully navigate this massive transformation, you've got to follow 3 steps. First, realize that no industry is safe. Comprehensive change is totally unavoidable. Second, like we just said, practice strategic patience and anticipate that time lag. But third, and most importantly, you have to be courageous. You can't just bolt an AI program onto a 1990s business model and expect it to magically work. You have to completely overhaul your fundamental operations. Restructure your IT, redesign your processes, and completely transform your company culture to become truly data-centric. I want to leave you with a direct, slightly provocative question. Look at your organization right now and ask yourself honestly, are you just putting a fresh coat of paint on things by superficially updating your IT? Or are you actually rolling up your sleeves and doing the hard, messy work of transforming your entire business culture for the AI era? Think about that carefully, because your answer today absolutely dictates your survival tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and stay curious.